Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful song. I know we're running out of time, so with your permission, I'm going to keep my remarks as brief as possible. Ospop, Mudima Belilona, Lebana Lelapa. The family will always be part of all of us, and we want to thank you for giving us somebody as special as Stanley Screamer Tshabalala. He will always live in our hearts and in our minds, and the Chabalala family will always be a part of all of us. The two quick remarks I want to make, I then want to express my deep appreciation. I know that I'm not just talking on behalf of Orlando Pirates, I'm talking on behalf of all of us who are here and those who are in the country, but also those on the African continent who've had the privilege of meeting Dr. Khoza. Thank you so much for your love to Brasten and to the Chabalala family, but also for your deep, deep commitment and sacrifices for a football club that my father loved very, very much. Not Mamelodi Sundowns. Another one. And of course, Mamelodi Sundowns is from my son and others, and of course, Kaizer Chiefs has a special place in our hearts. But, and just before I go back to Dr. Khoza, Dr. Jordan and Dr. Molefi Willifant, thank you for your commitment, your hard work. And thanks to Six Panyaza, our premier, who loves football so much. And when he wants money for the ANC, he says to me, "Nakirata Orlando Pirates." I said, but what do you mean, Nakirata Orlando Pirates? I don't know. This thing called Six Panyaza Parna, Kiswako, Kirata Morocco Swallows, Marbarle Monavaraki Pachachelet Moena Kubus, Kirata Orlando Pirates. Osmi Pony, I was born in Orlando, and my mother was from Orlando, and my father, of course, was a teacher in Orlando High. And Osmi Pony knows so much of my family, the family history. And it's so good to see her look so strong. And she represents a special part of our history. 1973, I think that's the first time Kimuka Ahowako Stadium. Of course, inspiring Orlando Pirates. We had come all the way from, of course, from Pretoria, but we went to visit my parents' home. It was a day when Kaizer Chiefs was playing Orlando Pirates. And then she was motivating the players as she continues to do today. I knew Screamer for many, many, many years. And I remember one day Dr. Khoza and I were gossiping when I was talking about a possible coach for Mamelodi Sundowns. This is many years ago. And the name Screamer Tshabalala came up. But there was no way I could give instructions to Screamer Tshabalala because I'd known him for so many years. I remember in 1978, there was a place called Irvin, Orlando East. And of course, Screamer was very special, very, very special. So he came to me, and I was a young boy. I think I must have been very, very young. I don't know how I got into a shebeen as young as I was, but I was there anyway. So he touched my jacket and he said, you look so nice, but the baritse Pretoria to tsamang le tsona. And this is many years ago. This is part of this continuous engagement with somebody who was a hero, an inspiration, and represented so much of what South African football is all about. Bobby Udumedise, Dr. Mutaung, and when I saw Dr. Khumalo, the real doctor, the one who's got the football papers, who deserves a doctorate in football, the way he was walking up the stage reminded me of what a special play. And of course, to see the legends here. Petsen, Kamuzu Banda, Esther Coman. Teenage guy, there was a day teenage Adribula, Esther, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So, Oscar, how about a teenage umrage? Teenage Maezer, teenage he was something special. Let me just say one quick thing before I go and sit down. And before I say that, I just once more to say to Dr. Khoza, you make us so proud, so proud. I remember when I came back from working in America in the 90s, early 90s, we spent so much time with Dr. Khoza in what was still then the Carlton Hotel. There were all of these discussions about businesses, and I've always been amazed by just his brilliance, his intelligence, his commitment. But we agreed at that time, as we've always agreed. And Dr. Khoza has done many great things. Chairman of the World Cup, worked with Dr. Jordan, brought history to our country, brought history to the African continent. But one of the most outstanding, one of his greatest achievements that makes all of us very proud is the deep sacrifice and his contributions to Orlando Pirates. Kana Neritsukile, there was a time when the performance of Orlando Pirates was not what it should be. And God gave Orlando Pirates Dr. Khoza. And he's made huge contributions. And I'll tell you why, because Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, Bobby, Jessica, and of course, Mamelodi Sundowns. You must forgive us, when we grew up, there was no Mamelodi Sundowns. Don't ask me what club did I favor when I grew up. So traveling on the African continent, and that's why OSPOP, we also bring you condolences on behalf of the 54 nations, the 54 countries in Africa, whose football federations have heard about Screamer Tshabalala and have said, please pass our condolences, Gomme Lilapa. So I also bring those condolences. But I just want to conclude by saying that a football, and let me express my deep gratitude to all of the football club owners and all of those who are involved in football in South Africa. Thank you so much for our religious leaders who are here. But let me go back to football. Football has always occupied a special and a unique place in the culture, in the upbringing, in the lifestyle of South Africans, and particularly of black South Africans, in fact, colored and Indian. And it is more important than ever before that all of those who are involved in football should work together, compete for the 90 minutes on the field, but let's all work together to develop and grow football in South Africa. Because this country has the talent to be one of the best football nations in Africa and one of the best football nations in the world. If the Springboks can become champions of the world, Bafana Bafana can indeed become champions of the world. And it starts with investing in the youth. It starts in investing in schools football. I mean, the first time I got to see Khoza Motaung, I had a vague memory of Khoza Motaung, but he used to remind me about it, not just remind me, but remind my family as well, the family members, was when he was a young student, go Orlando High, and he came to play at a school that my father had started. And they were all worried about this Khoza Motaung, a young football player, a student from Orlando High. And Jomo Sono, I mean, the whole generation of some of the best football players that this country has produced started at schools football. So let me conclude by once more expressing my deepest condolences to the Chabalala family and thanking each and every one of you, every single one of you. Every single one of you has made an enormous contribution. And let us recommit ourselves. We have the potential, we have the ability to do great things together. And we have the potential and the ability in football to really make the youth of our country and the people of our country very proud. And that requires unity, it requires working together. Thank you so much. Mudima Beleluna, Enkosi kakhulu.